Hi everyone, this is Kat of Catalyst Holistic Life Coaching, bringing your life in alignment with you. I'm here today to do your weekly guidance reading for the week of September 28th through October 4th, coming to the first part of October, and soon we'll also be having a full moon in Aries. And we just shifted into Libra season last week. So we're officially into fall and Maybon. The leaves are changing, things are getting colder. And we're also having some shifting around of planets beginning to go direct. Saturn just went direct today, and last week, I believe it was let's see, we had another planet go direct recently. It was either Jupiter or one of those planets. I can't remember which one exactly off the top of my head. But we're starting to kind of have some forward movement, even though it's very slow and progressive. So we may actually be kind of revisiting some things at this time. And because of the full moon also being in a new beginning cycle of Aries, we could also be starting to feel something culminating from when we had the new moon back in the spring. So thinking of things that may have happened back in that time, obviously, quarantine and COVID was when that really first started happening. But there may have been also like personal stuff going on as well that may be shifting for everyone. So thinking of how that's fully coming to light, maybe there's finally emotions that are going to be released behind it, or maybe a certain project that you actually tried to put in the work and now it's finally starting to bear some fruit. So take that however you may. As I sat with the cards, kind of meditating, seeing if there was any sort of other messages that were coming through, I kind of got two different imageries. The first was a sort of bird, either like an eagle or a hawk, that was flying over. It was like a bird's eye view, but it was very high, almost like a plane or a satellite. At first it was hovering over California, and then it began to kind of fly over the entire US, and the US was like really highlighted. So that could be saying maybe this reading is just really pertaining to my US watchers, but if you are from somewhere else, take it if it does resonate. This is just a general reading for the collective. It may or may not stick with you today. And then the imagery shifted to kind of like those spooky trees you typically see around Halloween, where it was nighttime, it was black, and they had no leaves, and there was just a wind howling and blowing through it. So taking away that, the sense that I'm getting is that things are really becoming, maybe we're starting to feel kind of in that phase of, what's the word I'm looking for? Barrenness. It was almost a very barren like feeling, but the wind that was blowing around, like the leaves, was still like very colorful. And so this could be, we're saying goodbye to some old things and we're feeling maybe very vulnerable and barren, and maybe some of us feel a little bit in the dark. Because we're not sure what's going to happen next. We're not sure what's going to come. The vision's not very clear. Everything is kind of uncertain at this point, and I think we're having a lot of expectation on change, especially with elections and everything coming up in the US. So there could be this feeling of just desolation, like waiting for things to shift and change, and we're just kind of immovable because we're not sure like really what's going to happen. We're not sure what to have hope for. So that's just like the imagery that I am getting in. We'll see how it resonates into the reading. This could either pertain to what's going on collectively or maybe personally. So we'll see how that works. So wherever you are, whenever you find this, just take it in and take a moment to actually ground and be able to sit into the messages and be open to receiving whatever comes in. This week I'm working with the Fairy Tarot, then we've got your animals, your crystals, all that good stuff. So let's get into it, starting with the tarot. Okay. Yeah, okay. So the first card we have is Strength. And I actually wanted to say something about this before. For some reason in this deck, Strength and Justice are switched numbers-wise. Strength is supposed to be card number 8, and Justice is supposed to be 11. And I just like to make note of that, just for like traditional tarot. I don't know why they switch these ones, because Leo comes before Libra, so this could be partially speaking on Libra signs and just the number 11 in general. Maybe that just wanted to come up. So it says, the grace and inner strength needed to overcome challenges, the power of kindness and forgiveness, time to embrace how wonderful you are. So yeah, we could be maybe just looking at ourselves in a really dark light, like we're in this really kind of vulnerable place of we feel raw, we feel uncovered, like a lot of these old things that were serving us have fallen away, and now we're kind of like, where do we go from here? How do we step into this new cycle? And so this is saying, finding and calling upon that inner strength. And there's a mixture of like, yes, we have this ferocity, but we also need to be gentle and kind, not just with ourselves, but with others. So, and maybe we're needing to forgive somebody that either wronged us, or forgive ourselves for what we think maybe our shortcomings. This gentleness is really calling on forgiveness and the power that we all hold within. So we're really starting to maybe just find our path again and discover like what really makes us ourselves, what really makes us unique, and what we really stand for. Okay. So second card we have is the Ace of Winter, or the Ace of Swords. Don't be deterred by challenges along the way. It's important to communicate clearly and accurately, amazing new ideas that should be implemented. So you could be getting a clear message, like maybe you're just waiting on something, you're starting to become impatient, and you're needing to just kind of draw on your strength and trusting that something is going to shift for you. There's going to be this clarity, this new direction, this aha moment that's going to start to propel us forward. And this is also like a message of truth. This is a really clear truth. So whether that's like inner truth, or maybe you're starting to get clear on a situation, maybe there's a situation that's calling for you to have more boundaries and strength with yourself. Like stand up for yourself, but don't do it in a mean way. You don't have to belittle people or tear them down or use them, but really clearly state like where you stand, and this is going to be that truth that you're going to offer. And she's even got this like tiger energy supporting her behind her as well, which is another like powerful like big cat energy. So we are going to be moving into Mercury retrograde in the next couple weeks, so this could be really saying make sure you're communicating clearly this week. Get really clear on what you want, so when things start to become a little muddy, we'll still kind of know which direction we're going. Okay, last card we have is the King of Summer. So this personality is honorable, devoted, mature, and warm-hearted. A romantic partner you can trust, excellent advice that comes from the heart, getting involved in a cultural or creative endeavor. So for some of you, yeah, this could be speaking on a sort of relationship, maybe a partner that you have been working with. And this could be saying for you to really like, if things have been kind of troublesome or unclear, maybe you're needing to get really strong and like clearing yourself and like setting more boundaries, because maybe you're not getting your needs met in some way. And this could be reassuring you that this person may be really understanding, whether this might be in a romantic relationship or maybe a job. Like, this is some sort of energy that is kind of like a patient, like loving energy. So be more trusting that people will be receptive to that as long as you like speak your truth and stand up for yourself. This could also be stating, if this is pertaining to something more personal, starting to gain control over our emotions, like that kind of strength, that clarity that's going to come in. You're going to feel like so much more emotionally fulfilled. You're going to feel like this sort of king of your own world. Like, you're not going to need emotional fulfillment from like an outside source. Like, this is just going to be your energy, because you're setting your truth and you're setting your boundaries, and you're also maintaining this gentleness, so you're able to like provide to yourself what you've been maybe looking for in other people. And same for giving this energy back out to your friends or your close like loved ones. You're able to kind of like hold that space for people now that you have more of this balance. So take that however that resonates. Okay, so let's start to get some more clarity. We've got a couple animal cards. Let's move into the oracle. I'll just shift this around. Okay, so moving into our animal guides, the first one we have is the Sandpiper Spirit. This is number 51, so 6 reduced down. So being playful, being light on your feet, being lighthearted. Like, yeah, maybe we were starting to just feel really heavy and dark. We're feeling like a hopelessness surrounding, the current state of the world or something more personal. And so this just is inviting you to like, find more fun in things. Like, find, be strong, stand up for yourself, but you don't have to be so rigid. Like, there's also a gentleness, like a childlike energy. And even with the like water energy, like this is a very playful, like emoting energy. So don't be afraid to like show off more of your fun side. Like, find ways to have fun, find ways to be more expressive, or just don't let this like really bog you down. Like, this is something that's really temporary, is something that I'm getting. And so really shifting the perspective for yourself and finding the emotional like balance in yourself is really going to start to like lighten the load. You're going to start to feel more at home with yourself and more able to kind of take on these challenges with a light heart. Okay, so the second animal we have is the Skunk Spirit in Protection. So this is number 54, 9 reduced. And this has to do with knowing your worth. So when this is in the protection, are you allowing people to walk all over you? Is there this boundary that's maybe lacking, that you're not standing up for yourself to people, jobs? Like, you're just kind of, these things are like bogging you down, and maybe you don't see a way out, because you're not seeing this worth. You have this kind of block towards what you think you're capable of, or what you think you deserve. And so that clarity, I think, is going to finally come forward, where you see like you carry this power within you, and you get to rule and decide your own life, and you get to decide it from a heartfelt place. And so really choose something that is of value to you, and also makes people respect and value you as well. So letting go of any people or things that do not hold that in your space. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and move into our crystal energies for the week. Crystals that can help aid in this energy. So the first one we have is the Black Coral card, Light in the Darkness. So yeah, that kind of color of like seeing like, yeah, there was a lot of barren, like dead trees, but there's still this kind of like brightness like going on, like nothing can really kill the spirit. Like, yes, things can change. The outside, the physical may change, but inside we are always that same person. We are always this bright, luminous soul. And are we willing to hold the light, or are we willing to just kind of fall into the darkness? So, how can we hold the light? How can we be this kind of anchor for people to come to? I'm starting to, think this energy is really just representative of ourselves, of us needing to reclaim our power, reclaim our emotions, and reclaim our heart. And when we start to become more grounded in this sense, we're able to help others who are starting to kind of lose their way and fall into hopelessness. So how can you bring more light into your own life and other people's lives? How are you contributing to the expansion and growth of the world instead of like feeding into the fear? Like red and black is just can be very like fear-based like energy colors. So how can you contribute to the light bearing, to expansion? Okay. Second energy we have is turquoise, or spirit of the earth. Remembering you are this like magnificent being that is always connected to the earth. Like, you are here for a reason. You have this purpose, and you have this healing potential, and you also have to speak your truth. Remember why you came here. Remember what you stand for. If you don't agree with something, or you want to see some sort of change, like, take the action in your life. Be that which you wish to see in the world. I always kind of say this around just election time, where we're really trying to decide what's going on with our country. Like, yes, we may like decide, between certain candidates, whoever we think is going to do the best job, but ultimately they can't do our job. They don't understand, and they don't know us personally, so how could they possibly know what we want or how we want to change the world? And I'm saying this more so for the people who really want to change the world for the better, because we know inherently what is right or wrong. We know what is really actually kingly, like emotionally heart-spaced nature, and we know what is not. We know what is connecting us to the earth and what is not. So for those of us who are really concerned about the collective, the planet, taking care of everyone on this planet, what are you doing today to kind of rule your own world and lead that same sort of life that you hope to see for everyone else? How can you contribute to that? And how can you live in that now? That's what's coming through. Okay. So moving into some herbal medicine that can help us out for the week. We have the curandera of air, or rosemary, also the king of swords. So rosemary is also very like clarifying. If you're needing a little bit of clarity, if you're feeling kind of muddy, you can't really define your boundaries very well, and you need something a little more sharp and distinct, like rosemary is like one of the best things to get you very focused into the moment. It's very present making. So if you're feeling like something is kind of like weighing you down, or feeling kind of stuck in that dark, like, this will get you clear. This will get you back into where you need to be. So using rosemary, whether it's in oils or smells, even in cooking, like rosemary, fresh rosemary is really amazing in potatoes or any sort of soothing foods. So paying attention to rosemary this week, seeing if that's something you can play around with. Okay, so moving into our Work Your Light Oracle. Okay, so getting grounded is the first card. Empaths, highly sensitives, connecting with nature. So yeah, especially empathetic people who are psychic and more aware of like things going on, you could be really affected by the state of the world going on right now. This is also an energy of empathetic people. Emotions really tied into the intuition. And so this is also that getting kind of grounded energy. Maybe you're needing to detach, like maybe things are calling a lot of your energy on, and you're needing to kind of set that boundary of this is too much for me right now. I need to just like get centered in myself and know, get really clear before like making a decision to move forward. And in connecting with nature, again, that like spirit of the earth. If you're maybe something I like to do, if I'm feeling like really out of place or really uncertain about where my life is going or what I should be doing, I will go out in nature, whatever that may be, the woods, a river, something to basically just kind of disconnect and sit with myself for a while. And so however that resonates for you, you can even just get grounded at home or around your plants if that's something that's more suitable to you. But we are becoming more sensitive. I think that's something that this is saying too. Like once we start to understand our boundaries, we start to understand our emotions. And the more we understand our emotions, the more we are able to like be sensitive to others, be sensitive to our own needs, and be sensitive to others' needs. So that grounded and playfulness, like sometimes even just play can get us really back and grounded into our true selves. So really kind of get out of that like muck. If you think that you're stuck, just kind of like drop everything for a moment and do something different, whether it's just for 5 minutes or an hour, however that resonates. Okay. So the second card, we have is the Star Mother. How can you mother yourself? Yeah, again, that sort of that nurturing energy and that spirit of the earth, as well as knowing your worth. I think that's what's really speaking on this here, is how are we nurturing and taking care of ourselves? Maybe we have some old mother wounding coming up. That is something that could be speaking. And this is something we've been searching for a while, maybe mother or father, since there is this king energy here, but this is mostly like the water, like feminine energy. So how have we not been emotionally nurturing ourselves? How have we not been putting our needs first to make sure that we are authentically giving, that we are authentically being ourselves and not getting constantly drained? So maybe ask yourself that question this week, is how can you mother? How can you mother yourself and take care and be a mother? A mother is very nurturing and let's just say the divine mother, the mother archetype, since we know not all mothers are like that. But so the divine mother, we think of someone who's very nurturing, understanding, forgiving, and unconditionally loving. So find your place of unconditional love this week. Okay, last couple cards, moving into our wild offering cards. Okay, so the first one we have is companionship. When you fully bless and embrace your aloneness, you're ready for the ones who are meant to be with you. May I welcome this solitude, knowing it will open the way for all healthy relationships. Okay, so for some of you, yes, this is really speaking on relationship. I see. Okay. Yeah. So we've got two different messages here going on. So for some of you, this is speaking towards relationship, towards poor boundaries, or like maybe a recent hurt in relationship that you are trying to be strong for. And now you're getting this clarity of who you really are, what it is you stand for, and you're becoming your own best partner. Like you are becoming the mother or the father energy, the masculine or the feminine that you have been striving for and everything else. And now you're really looking to just find it within. You're starting to notice what it is that you need fully. And so when we start to be our own best companion, when we start to really nurture ourselves and know this worth, when we're our own best friend, like this attracts people that will treat you the same way. There won't be any more of this feeling kind of just drained of our own energy. Okay, so the second card we have is striving. Eventually, the individual ego's drive to make things happen falls away, replaced with a relaxed, trusting openness to answers as they arise. Thank you, Divine, for letting me move with the flow. So for the other half, I feel this is speaking on just our life path in general, what we thought we were supposed to be doing, like our drive moving forward, like career-wise. And we're starting to understand that this really isn't that emotionally fulfilling. This isn't really something that is giving us a lot of hope. And maybe we're trying to really force something in the state of the world, like everything's been very push-pull, and we think we don't have enough time, like we have to force something to happen, we have to do this or that to be able to be successful. And we're pushing ourselves past this point of just like we're calling on our reserves and we're not feeling strength anymore. We're breaking our own boundaries. And so there's this mix of like, find the playfulness instead. Like, instead of trying to work so hard all the time, instead of pushing yourself and forcing yourself to really do something that's not bearing a lot of fruit, find some time to just play for a moment. Invite it in. Like, the more you start to release and let go of expectation and throw play into it, like actually enjoy what's going on around you, then you'll start to see the growth. It won't seem so stagnant. It won't seem so blank. So again, like, we don't have to make things happen. Like, things will happen for us, to us, when we allow them to. We just have to make space for it to happen. Okay, so again, that like, how do you mother? How do you nurture? How do you take care of yourself right now? Okay. All right. This has been a very recurring theme throughout the year, working through different messages, different archetypes, different ideas, but all around the message has been very similar. And I feel it's because of this like push-pull in the astrology, and we were kind of getting little tastes of it, but then we had so much retrograde going back in. And now I feel like this is really saying, like, we realize, oh, this isn't something we're going to find outside of ourselves. Like, we really have to finally take control of our own lives, and we have to take it unto ourselves. So if this is something that you have been struggling with, this is really like a message for you, whether it's in relationship or just personally in your own work. Collectively, we're all being really called to find our own inner strength and really talk true to our path. Okay? I think that is all I have for you this week. If that really resonated with you, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, maybe share it. I really love to see your stories and how this is manifesting for you personally, so feel free to share or send me an email. You're also welcome to go to my website and sign up for my bi-weekly moon letter, which includes like links to these readings and my other moon readings, as well as blogs, services, coupons, things like that I'm really excited to be bringing. And also this week, I have a full moon workshop coming up on Friday the 2nd. And this is happening in Bozeman, Montana. So if you are in the area or you feel like you're going to be in the area around that time, please check out the link below where you can get tickets. There will be open circle discussion, a yoga flow talking about the astrology, and just a chance to connect with some people. There will also be dinner and drinks, and part of the proceeds are going to the Bridger Fire Relief Fund that happened here in Bozeman a few weeks ago. So also feel free, I have CashApp links below if you feel like tipping, exchanging, donating, or maybe just buying me a tea. Either way, I appreciate that. So again, thank you all for watching. I hope this finds you well, and we shall see you for the next reading. Have a great day. Bye.